Welcome back to the Better Man YouTube channel. This is going to be episode 2 of my new long form content. Hope you enjoyed the first video. Appreciate all the likes and support. If you want to join the Better Man Academy, it's free to join right now. Click the link down in my description on YouTube and in the description of this video. Also follow me on TikTok and Instagram, betterman.advice. Let's just get straight into the video. I want to talk today a little bit about feminism from the context of an essay that I wrote recently. And I'm going to just read you the essay, keep this one really simple. The essay is entitled The Great Betrayal, How Feminism Turned Women Against Their Nature. I've talked a little bit about this on my TikTok, and so I thought it'd be interesting to just sort of do a bit of a deeper dive. I was thinking about this and I just jotted down some concepts and ideas and put it all into this essay. Hopefully you find it interesting and maybe enlightening in some way. And whatever way you find it, comment in the comments and I'd love to hear your thoughts. So here we go. The Great Betrayal, How Feminism Turned Women Against Their Nature. What modern women fail to recognize, what has been buried beneath decades of ideological subversion, is that men have been their protectors since the dawn of time. Every restriction placed upon women throughout history on their sexuality, their mobility, their public voice, and even their votes was not, as modern narratives insist, rooted in oppression. It was rooted in protection. This is not to say all men were benevolent or that society was perfect. It wasn't. But the idea that patriarchy was solely and maliciously constructed to oppress women is a lie. A myth carefully crafted to invert the truth and fracture the bond between the masculine and the feminine. Every man takes the limits of his own field of vision for the limits of the world, Arthur Schopenhauer. And so it has become with modern womanhood, raised within a post-industrial landscape of consumerism, feminism, and hyper-individualism, most women now mistake freedom for fulfillment. But as Schopenhauer reminds us, liberation from one constraint often leads to bondage in another. Women were told they were being liberated from men, but what they were really delivered into was servitude to money, status, and the endless anxiety of self-definition. The protective nature of masculine structure in Freudian terms, the masculine energy represents order, structure, and law. The father archetype, in its healthiest form, brings protection through boundary. He says no to the girl not to dominate her, but to shield her from the darker impulses of men and the chaos of her own unregulated desires. From a Jungian perspective, these societal limitations were not simply external restrictions, they were symbolic containers. Containers that held feminine energy in a space where it could flourish. When a woman is allowed total freedom, disconnected from her deeper archetypal roots, she risks becoming possessed by the animus, the masculine spirit within her, which distorts her into a critical, combative, overly rational proxy man. Open quote, the animus in women tends to be opinionated, rationalizing, and sometimes tyrannical, an unconscious masculine voice that disconnects her from the wisdom of the body and the soul. Close quotes, Carl Jung. Modern feminism did not set women free. It invited them to reject the feminine entirely. It made them distrust the masculine protector, resent the protective boundary, and glorify competition with men rather than union with them. It severed women from the biological and archetypal core, leaving them spiritually homeless. The slave and the trans archetype. Here's the paradox. The modern woman now lives like a man, thinks like a man, competes like a man, and dates as if she were a man. Yet, she's unfulfilled. She's been told that achievement and sexual liberation are the path to empowerment. But all it's left her with is burnout, confusion, and silent resentment. This is why the imagery of slavery and transformation is so potent in modern discourse. It resonates not because of moral superiority, but because of projection, a Freudian mechanism where internal conflict is displaced into external causes. The modern woman feels enslaved to her career, her independence, her need to perform. She feels split between who she is and who she pretends to be. She is, in essence, trans, not in gender, but in identity. A woman embodying the energy of a man, wearing his mask, living a life that was never hers to live. Open quotes. Every parting gives a foretaste of death. Every union, a hint of the resurrection. Close quote. Arthur Schopenhauer. And she longs to resurrect her true nature, but she no longer remembers what it is. The psyop of feminism. The most dangerous lies are not the ones told loudly. They're the ones told quietly for decades until they sound like common sense. Feminism began as a cry for equality, but quickly metastasized into a psyop, a psychological operation designed to destroy trust between men and women. It reframed male protection as male oppression. It recast feminine modesty as patriarchal control. It demonized the father, the husband, and the provider. And it replaced him with the state, the corporation, and the marketplace. Now women are free, but only to consume, to compete, to survive alone. They are empowered, but often resentful, anxious, disoriented, and unloved. Many fight for causes not because they embody those values, but because these causes reflect their own inner turmoil. To be anti-slavery is to subconsciously cry out against their own spiritual enslavement. To be pro-trans is to validate the dissonance they feel in embodying a role that doesn't fit. Restoring the natural order. This is not a call to strip women of rights. It is a call to reintegrate truth, to stop pretending that masculinity is toxic or that the feminine is complete in and of itself without the masculine counterpart. Carl Jung taught us that integration of opposites, the reconciliation of the conscious and the unconscious, is the path to individuation. Men and women are not enemies, but they have been pitted against one another by ideological forces that benefit from their separation. The real war is not between the sexes. The real war is between truth and illusion. Open quotes. He who cannot find peace within himself will never find it anywhere else. Close quotes. Carl Jung. The modern woman will only find peace when she stops fighting her nature, and the modern man must stop apologizing for his. And that's it, guys. Pretty short little essay I did there, but I think it's a really interesting take on what's going on. And for me, this has been pretty obvious for some time. I think I've had to develop my ability to communicate in order to actually speak on this. Over the last definitely 5 years, but maybe 10 years, I've been slowly coming online in a way where I can actually be public about my perception of what's going on here. But as a man and being involved with relationships, my observation of women, particularly in this last 5 years, has just the shift in women's energies and sort of attitudes is monumental. Unless you're willing to completely surrender to them, it is going to be impossible for you to integrate with modern women. You shouldn't surrender to their frame. As a man, you must stand in your own frame, and you must be able to witness this, observe what's going on, understand where women are at right now, and to hold the line. Ultimately, that's been my message on TikTok, and it's my message here, is to just, right now, it's time to hold the line, rediscover your masculinity, rediscover what it means to have frame, rediscover purpose and meaning in your life, build the foundations of your life as a sovereign man so that you're fortified for the chaos of the feminine when she comes. Let's wait it out a little bit while we have this sort of almost distorted feminine version going around in the culture at the moment, and this may require a little bit of patience. But if we hold the line as men, as individuals, women will start to get the message that they cannot, and that nor they should want to, embody these traits of essentially the feminist agenda of being masculine. Some of them are starting to understand this, and slowly but surely, as it starts to spread through the female world, because they're ultimate conformists, as they start talking amongst themselves, they will start to understand through their own evolutionary position and strategy that at some point they're going to have to realize that the natural order of things is for them to surrender into our care and to trust us. And while they are grappling with that, we can become men worthy of trusting again. Because it's not only on the women, the men have been lobotomized too. We got convinced of this new way of being men, which ultimately made women disheartened. And actually, we became unsafe as men because we were not integrated into our masculinity. And we are also going through a lot of trauma and sort of horror that we were witnessing as men in the culture. Through the 20th century, we as men witnessed so much horror that we'd never really experienced in the same way on that industrialized level, that it did have a knock-on effect as to how we were showing up as men in society, in our families, etc., etc. And one without the other is not possible. I think feminism and the lacking of masculinity all happen simultaneously, and we can get into that in a different video. But ultimately, that's my take for today's video, guys. I hope you found it interesting. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel here and click the notification bell if you want to be notified when new videos come out. Follow me on TikTok, follow me on Instagram, comment below, and I'll be coming here with a new video very, very soon. Appreciate all the love, appreciate all the support, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.